Good morning, Durk. I hope you're doing as well as possible under the circumstances. Can you tell me, where was your mind when you heard the news of your friend Vaughn passing away on November 6, 2020?
Somebody told me if you can copy an artist to be somebody for Halloween, you made it. He had a whole image. You know what I'm saying?
The whole world witness your mate sniper get his shit splat, and you ain't even get your lick back. You know I'm really shy.
And then the loss of your brother on June 6, 2021. Wow.
Honestly, I'll never be you. But I'm in a better place in my life.
We in the club on the other end. Go through that. You front door, you at the front door. And we all get that chill for a second. Right in front of security.
D-Thing was up here, he was arguing with somebody that he recognized. In the middle of that argument, he came outside. I guess he was coming back outside to get the stuff to his car and to get around people he's familiar with. And in the midst of that, he was shot and killed.
Thought it was shake that ass time, D-Thing got cooked at the club.
Did you blame on him? I heard you ran on him. You ain't stand on him. You ain't never purged.
Vaughn was charged for a shooting that took place right in this parking lot. It wasn't just him, though. Lil Durk was present at the scene with Vaughn and was charged as well.
Case against a rapper accused in a shooting outside of the Varsity will move forward.
Criminal attempt to commit murder.
Police say they have video evidence in this case.
Devontae Bennett, seen on camera involved in shooting Alexander Witherspoon, a person police say they knew.
Police said Vaughn was caught on tape shooting and robbing the victim.
He said his chain was snatched off his neck and he had $30,000 stolen from him.
In the back seat of that car.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are you trying to do?
Let us zoom in. Oh, sweet. Oh, man. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's getting out. He was tussling in the back seat with somebody.
Yeah. They're pulling him in kind of.
So he was in the car.
He was in the car tussling with them.
He got hit already. He's trying to pull his own gun. Yeah. I see.
That car is still shooting and pulls off. And then that guy runs, pulling off. And then in a minute, they're going to run.
Oh, I see. Okay. Wow.
Bro, my name is Devontae Charlie, bro. I ain't got nothing to have, bro. All I want to do is talk to you, son.
Get in the car. We're going to talk in the station.
Right now,
it's either going to be a misdemeanor or a felony. How are you going to act, bro? How are you going to act? Get in the car. And we'll talk in the station.
It's about felony misdemeanor. I don't want nothing on my background. I ain't got to be on my background, man.
Okay.
For real, listen. He's out. I'm not thirsty. Y'all, I get it is what it is, man. I ain't finna go through this shit.
All I want to do is talk to you, son. Get in this car. We're going to talk in the station.
Remember I told y'all that a cameraman in Atlanta, that he gave up footage to the police. He got grabbed, and he ended up giving up footage, which made them grab Benzo, which made Zoo, them grab Zoo too. Guess all of them was at some type of venue together, and something took place where a shooting occurred.
There's a lot of fuck shit with this industry shit anyway. You know, there are too many weird niggas in the dope game. These niggas be dick sucking just to be on the side of them motherfuckers.
Lil Durk beating his gun case, shooting case, attempted robbery, attempted murder charges that happened in Atlanta at the restaurant Varsity. You know, that case involved King Von, Hella Bands, and Bezoo. Hella Bands was shot and killed in Miami. King Von was shot and killed in Atlanta. Durk and Bezoo was left on this case. A lot of people were speaking on Durk beating this case, not realizing Bezoo beat it too.
THF Bezoo. I don't want to beef with you, bro. You sat down with the ATF and told on your whole hood, bro. You told on your whole hood.
Took all y'all shit coming to the air. Bezoo, Lil Durk. Niggas are rats.
Hella Bands became a suspect in that homicide, and right before he died, he was also involved in an attempted murder and robbery in which him, Durk, Von, and Bezoo were all charged. And on May 11, 2019, his time also ran out.
Yo, be out of here. Be out of here.
Yo, what's up? I'm getting fired with the motherfucking possible, yeah. They told me 15 minutes, I'm gonna fuck me 30. Okay, then.
Oh, we were still waiting on the driver to come though. Just hop in. We waiting on the driver. Hey, Tim, hey, you can just stay right here.
Another car's about to pull up. No, you can just go. I'm back. I don't see no purpose in that car. You even sound like this.
A Chicago rapper was murdered outside a South Beach nightclub.
Local 10's Janine Stanwood is live with more on the suspect arrested and how detectives tracked him down. Janine.
And detectives describe this as an assassination-style shooting right here on Washington Avenue. They say they now have their man.
Was gunned down outside Club Cameo on South Beach, May of 2019, and it made national headlines.
Austin Hall?
Now, 2 years later, police have arrested this man, Austin Hall, who they say is the same man seen in surveillance video running from the scene.
It was pretty brazen to assassinate somebody in the middle of the street next to a nightclub that was packed.
The Cameo nightclub at 2 a.m. 35 minutes later, he's seen with several people walking east on Espanola Way, then back in front of the club with two other men. He stood talking on a cell phone, then walking again on Espanola with one man in front and one man behind him. Making his way to the corner of Espanola and Washington Ave, a man stepped in front of Hella Bands. Words were exchanged between the two before Hella Bands was hit in the face. He stumbled at first, trying to defend himself before turning and running away, fleeing from his attacker. The man chased after him, raising his right arm and opening fire. A bystander was hit as Hella Bands ran in between pot cars ducking the shots, but he tripped and fell face first on the ground as the shooter hawked him down, standing over Hella Bands before shooting him in his back and head. The 24-year-old rapper would never get back up and was pronounced dead in the street at 2:45 a.m., identified by the Arizona ID found in his pocket. While a Chicago rapper was killed, another man was on a flight back to Chicago, thinking he just got away with murder. Miami homicide investigators started piecing together the case by collecting all surveillance video, observing the men seen with Hella Bands leading up to the shooting, then obtaining cell phone records. The investigation led them to Chicago, where they made contact with the police, who allegedly identified the man seen on surveillance video, who was believed to be the shooter.
He was chased down, caught, and stood over by a guy named Austin Hall, who later told the police that he went to Miami to get back for Chris Smokes. Javante Davis was the ones that notified the friends and family of Hella Bands that he was deceased.
But even though Durk is free and safe from the charges, if Vaughn was still alive, he'd probably be in jail right now. The DA said Vaughn would still be investigated for the shooting if he didn't die, and he was also being investigated for at least 3 murders back in Chicago.
Now we know all that already, man. Then the nigga King Von catch a case with goddamn Durk. We see the same lady sitting right there, man. It's the same lady that stopped Durk, the King Von, at the goddamn airport, bro.
I can get your ID one more time.
You can take a picture of my badge.
Yeah, y'all want to search me for what?
Detain this nigga. Let me see your ID. She just dressed down. She wore a mask and dressed down. It's the same bitch.
Covers. Los covers.
Undeniable proof that this is the same lady, bruh. The same lady that detained King Von is the same lady that helped Durk get off of this case that they're now saying King Von would have been found guilty of. This is the same lady we watching in the goddamn YFN case where we see her sitting there representing the goddamn courtroom.
Because some paperwork was released.
Police all on my dick. What the on these people. They took me out and searched my bed for some drugs, all type of. Hey, matter of fact, look. This man took a picture of my ID, got my address and everything. This man, I don't know this man, you know what I'm saying? You can remember his face. King bald head up. I don't know what's going on. I got on the plane time out.
Hold up. King Von ain't know you was Lord Durk lawyer at the airport when he seen you? Maybe not, because you had that mask on. It says that Nicole was born and raised in Chicago. She moved to Atlanta when she graduated from criminal justice at Troy University. She worked with the state of Georgia for 5 years. She was a probation officer and a specialized task force agent. She was in that capacity at the airport with King Von. Hey, check this out though. This Nicole Mormon, Lord Durk lawyer, right? He turning himself in at this moment. But something was real spooky. I had to rewind it, and I checked out her face. Right there. Look. What that look like? Shit disappearing, shit shape shifting. I don't know if it's a green screen or what's going on. Watch her nose. Fuck is that? That's spooky. Look at this. Look, I'm gonna go back. Wow. Watch her face though. Look at her face.
If one of my ops see me, they'll fuck who around. They ass gonna squeeze. Cause they wanna kill me so fucking bad. You see what I'm saying?
Why you feel
he wanna get
such
cool
a target?
with.
Why are you?
They hate me. They know I tell the truth. And I always been a problem child for them. See what I'm saying? Like I always.
It ain't nothing. I gave out 100. Boy, I bet they come.
Do you think the King Von 100K was real?
Man, Durk 100K, yeah. Von, no.
Von was trying to get FBG Duck for years, and that was the trophy.
Yeah, he been out there. He been one of them.
I ain't gonna say too much on the internet, but shorty know he been a threat.
You said that OTFD thing paid $5,000 for FBG Duck's location?
Oh, yeah. The guy sent it to his baby mama. It's easy. He sent it to his baby mama. The cash app, he sent it that he Duck, that he got him, that he sent it all to him, and he stayed out there after that, Vlad. He stayed on the scene. That's why his Duck was on the ground, man. We watching Duck fight for his life. He was in the crowd.
They know that we did it.
They know.
OTF shit, man.
They know.
Caller states that there was a male black with reflective sunglasses and a gun who was chasing another male who was last seen running westbound on Oak. The male with the weapon.
So I was riding my bike, y'all. I was riding, coming through the Gold Coast on the bike. Next thing you know, I just, man, next thing you know, I just see somebody laying down. I'm not thinking I know who it is. Next thing you know, I noticed to see it's somebody I know. I done been in the same house with this dude that's laid out here bleeding for his life. Man, him and I don't know who the second guy is, but I know he is. He is Chicago rapper FBG Duck, and somebody then shot him and drove off.
Call from the boat, that nigga's trying to kill me. If it ever come down to that day,
On August the 4th, 2020, Duck was in the designer shopping district of the Gold Coast in downtown Chicago, on Oak Street, right in front of the Dolce & Gabbana store. After getting a phone call from a man called TZ, alerting them that Duck was in the area, members from O-Block would make a move, traveling with 2 cars full of members, a 30-minute drive from O-Block to downtown, arriving to the Gold Coast, where O-Block members would jump out the car and gun down FBG Duck in broad daylight. Now, as the O-Block 6 trial has fully concluded, many people have focused on the details of the people involved in that trial. C. Murder was found guilty on 5 counts as a shooter, as well as driver Kenny Mack and the other driver Los, with C-Thang from the Jado Jump Out Boys being found guilty on 3 counts as a shooter, TZ, who actually called the shooter, being guilty on 2 counts, and finally O-Block veteran Muwop being found guilty on 5 counts as one of the shooters. However, many people might not be aware of that 7th shooter, with that man being Zelmuna from the Jado Jump Out Boys, jumping out the car that day and firing bullets at FBG Duck too. In fact, FBG Butter, who later cooperated in the trial against Duck's killers, would actually claim in a Vlad TV interview that Zell had even got himself shot at the scene of the crime and left his gun.
Y'all did that to y'all self. And Lil Durk helped. Fuck you talking about, because all them niggas was with Lil Durk.
Nigga, they flew in. Everybody keeps saying Shorty and them got snatched out of Parkway. Shorty and them got snatched out of Parkway. No, the fuck they didn't. Shorty and them got snatched out the airport. Getting off Lil Durk jet, gang. RICO consists of money laundering and racketeering and et cetera and et cetera. Who got the most money?
We had to do a bid for Love Bro Friend. We had to do a bid. We had to do a bid. Everybody with the all black on. Wow. I got that berry on. I already know though, Brody. Love you, Brody.
I love you too. I'm gonna leave you with all these followers on live. Show them the block.
Oh yeah. Fucking gang. Get back gang. OTF.
And then Rap-A-Lot stepped in. And a week later, my son was murdered. After being on the phone with Jay Prince.
The industry. Real niggas is dying to get in.
It was just about business.
Rap-A-Lot Midwest.
Bitch.
His birthday bash. Rap-A-Lot Midwest. TDP birthday bash for him.
Trust the process.
Yeah. Fly out a couple cameramen along if they got one down here. Fly out a couple of eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Run and tell them that, bitch. Oh shit. Y'all in trouble.
Hey, I'm in the hospital. Got you and your man said a lot of hot niggas. He think he fast, but I'm a little quick. Yeah, he told not, but I'm a little thick.
Who? Rap-A-Lot? That's like his blood on this shit. Mob ties type shit forever. It was already a mutual understanding, agreement as far as gangsters and fucking like business.
Got Ruthie with the Toolie. Let G right here. Okay. Where the fuck Peso and them go, folks? We got Fredo Bang in this bitch. Got JR.
He just landed from Texas, nigga, from Houston or Dallas, one of the motherfuckers, wherever he was at. Just came from out there, nigga. I guess they saying he went to the studio because they saying the nigga, Bodine, is the last nigga that posted him in the studio.
I walk around with a stick and I never get nervous. Urgent. Play on the net to the day that they see me in person. These niggas scared for real. I'm on my mind, I take meds for real. I'm in some man, get him in line. Before he be dead for real, yeah.
Why'd you take that picture with the King Von mural?
Durk told me to.
How did he tell you to?
He through text. Now he blocked me now, but yeah, through text.
Identify with who we are, and beginning with Larry Hoover. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. When I met and visited with Larry Hoover in the penitentiary, he knew all about me. This guy knew my songs. He knew all about me, and he spoke about how I reminded him of himself. And he had a lot to do with Chicago embracing it.
Was that a meeting that you requested, or he asked to see you?
Yeah, it was a meeting he requested.
Wow.
He wanted to meet me because, our presence was real strong in Chicago as well as his. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it was a meeting of the minds.
He's very powerful. He's in charge of a nation of people, and he got the power. So for him to ask you to come see him must have been a really powerful thing.
So soon as I was walking up the stairs to go through the doors, the feds was coming out the door and they grabbed me right then and there, took me to another side door, right out the back behind the building, into a car and shot me down there on Van Bruin to the federal court building. They put me in this interrogation room and it was a couple of agents in there. It was the U.S. attorney in there. And they said, listen, because I have a driver who brought me there and dropped me off at the front of the place. and he wouldn't park the car. They said, listen, don't nobody know that we got you right now. No one. They said, we'll put you right back on 26 and your driver don't even know you gone already. We'll put you back on 26 if you give us Larry Hoover. I said, what? I said, you give us Larry Hoover, we'll put you back on 26 and you'll work for us. I went in my pocket, pulled out the card to my lawyer, slid it on the table, and said, call my lawyer.
Trump should have freed Larry. Fuck is wrong with dude?
Well, it's official. Your boy Jay Prince just announced that Trump pardoned and freed Larry Hoover.
This is GD classic. GD's on the rise. Yeah. Like that GD answer.
And then he left the studio and went to the spot.
He gon' spot you, say my name too crazy, he do Walker.
Well-known Chicago area rapper was killed in a drive-by shooting early this morning in the Auburn Gresham neighborhood. 31-year-old Tristan Hamilton was shot multiple times. According to the Sun-Times, he raps under the name FBG Cash. A 29-year-old woman with him was also shot, taken to the hospital in serious condition. It is believed Hamilton fired back at the shooter. Police don't have anyone in custody, at least not yet. 2 years ago, another rapper close to Hamilton, known as FBG Duck, was also shot and killed.
Long gang only. Dummy, zip him up. Dead on the right. Straight to the wall. Ain't make the hospital. Straight to the wall. The world wants supposed to have everybody twice sing everything but the women and everything but the electric cell. We known as cash out, but we ain't crashed out. Old gang only. You can believe whatever you want. I got your folks here. Aha. You don't believe me, you gonna see. You gonna end up by that tree.
Know that we did it.
Man, he killed Cash. I ain't laughing at that. Like, I ain't laughing at what y'all think I'm laughing at. I'm laughing at.
We can't catch him. Then we nail his mans. Bitch got hit. I don't give a fuck. Nigga play crazy, do his ass like that.
He killed Cash, though. Oh, it's coming out like a motherfucker. It really Ben was out. Oh, it's coming out like a motherfucker. They ain't the only nigga he killed neither.
Now, King Von, who was known as one of the biggest people to come out of O Block in recent years, went to his Instagram the day after it happened, and he started to diss Duck, according to the authorities. Now, he said this, quote unquote.
All I know is murk niggas. We be coming like the purge, nigga. Tweaking the streets in your ass, get left on that curve, nigga.
Von is not here to speak on what he's seen. For all we know, Von ain't seen the motherfucker. He was just took somewhere where just so happened Quando Rondo sitting there with Lil Tim.
The video was edited because, like I said before, there's no one there, and then the crowd pop up. That's where I saw.
Don't want Von to bring pressure or $1 or better. Yeah. Let this beat a head up.
God felt
but
like
if they
Von
keep
didn't
bonding
deserve
something
to go
is
to
not
jail
right. The
forever.
ops don't play with
Because you
him.
know
That
that
happened
Rico,
from
that
his
Oak Block
side.
Rico, Von was the head of that. So when the people they got now, Von would have been the face of that case. And they would have just threw Duck murder on him and did all that shit. And now Von sat all his time to come home and become a superstar just to go back to jail forever. I don't feel like he deserved that. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit, God called him home.
And the night happened, me and Durk at the bowling alley, because we was all in Houston and shit, so we at the bowling alley.
I noticed that there was a black truck that had passed by. Now, everybody's around Von's, truck at this moment. This truck passes by, takes a right at the stop sign. You can see it go down a little bit, and then comes in from the back parking lot into the parking lot. At that very moment, they wake up Von. Now, I don't know if he was drugged or whatever, but he just wasn't in his right state of mind and he was sleeping. Why would you wake up somebody that's sleeping or, is drunk or drugged or whatever? Especially the club closes at 3 a.m., so it just didn't make sense to me. Now we see Rondo talking at the window to the white black truck that pulled in. So now this black truck is pulling in slowly. They wake up Vaughn. Vaughn goes immediately straight over to Rondo. Rondo goes right over to Vaughn. Like, why would Rondo go over to Vaughn like that? That's what I don't understand. Now this black truck is just sitting there watching everything go down. And that's where I found to, you know, believe that when I started looking at the pictures of this black truck, I found out that it was a 2019 Suburban, a black Suburban. And then I noticed that, you know, Durk owns a 2019 black Suburban. What a coincidence, right?
I got the car probably 2 minutes after it happened, no exaggeration. The club right there, that's like my uncle. So he called me, but I'm thinking he done did some, because they weren't kicking it like he got shot. They were kicking it like he somebody type. But then goddamn, he called back and was like, nah, he got shot too. I ain't even want to tell Durk, so I ain't even say nothing to Durk. But then goddamn, about 5 minutes later, Durk just like left by down bowling alley like fast. I was like, damn, he just found out.
So they were having fun in the truck, you know, laughing. Durk's, you know, singing his verse or whatever, playing with his hat like he does. Everybody's in the comments telling Durk what's going on with Vaughn. He's been shot. He's not really paying attention. And then he just, you know, hangs up the live after the song's over or whatever. So that didn't sit right with me at all.
Who that is in there? That's your homie in this wood.
My car's paid for. I'm so happy. Oh, this is so nice. My brother 21 Savage bought me a car. I'm so happy. It's so nice. And I got a fridge inside of it. Everything paid for it. I love Savage so much. And he bought me 21 roses. I'm so happy. I love him.
She was getting ready to leave, and she was like, yeah, I'm gonna take this suitcase because my friend bought it, and I'm gonna take a couple items to remember my brother as. She around him every day. So I'm like, buying bathroom, and I just hear cabinet slamming and this and that. But somebody asking, like, go under this cabinet for the hard drive. I'm still not thinking none of it. But my thing, and what came to my attention, like, why she didn't told his mama first, like, what was going on. But you took that shit and stuffed it in a suitcase with all the clothes, and then you just left. And then 3-4 days later, you get a Range Rover.
All this shit be staged, just some shit a nigga don't care about.
I took my hard drives. But when I took my hard drives, I went and gave it to his folks.
So Vaughn, you sitting up there in the sky, nigga. You might be down there. Do you find it a coincidence, Vaughn, that you've been beating cases all your life? Soon as you die, they solving everything about you. Who did you have around you that knew everything about you?
I set my brother up.
And the biggest thing about all that is, track, who was the officer Francois on the scene?
So I've been left. So the person going to the club and the person giving whatever you guys think that is, that's not me. I've been left the scene already.
You been left the scene, how you get shot though? If you been left the scene. See, this the questions that because we heard motherfuckers on that police dispatch say, Officer Francois.
1504 to radio, sir. 4 to Officer Francois.
Copy, you need a 4 for an officer.
Confirm. Advisors learn over the officer. Condition of the officer, please.
Advise the condition of the officer.
04 to radio, Officer Francois got sprayed. Starting before right here.
Receive, praise.
But listen, that I can't tell you if there's not an Officer Francois. What if there's an Officer Tom? What if there's an Officer Jerome? What if there's an Officer Ricardo? Who knows? What if that?
Hey, Francois, hold on. What we ain't about to do though, look, I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. You giving me, look, I appreciate you. You ain't have to say a goddamn thing. But nigga, it's in me. Ain't you? So you telling me it happened to be an officer with the same last name as you down there? It was you. So we know you work with the police in Atlanta.
How am I gonna be? Listen, how am I gonna be a manager, an executive, and be an officer at the same time? How can I have so many traits if I'm already an executive and I got a record label and got artists? How am I gonna have time to be an officer?
You talking to me like I'm a fool though. Ain't no way in the fuck you about to sit here and tell me, Mr. Francois, that it was a nigga with your last name in the same city, man. You not about to sit here and tell me that? Come on, man. You keep it all the way funky now.
Listen.
Green, who had a beef with Melly. Why don't you check him out? Quando Wando, why don't you check him out? Gina, who said he's going to be on a plate. They're going to kill him. Jameson Francois with the missing guns. He's the manager who had, I think, $16 million in his account. If anyone had a motive, in this case, it would be Jameson Francois.
It's only a matter of time because y'all gotta really pay attention to this shit. Ain't no way in here, man, this man got name he been brought up in all these motherfucking federal indictments and all these motherfucking federal cases. And he ain't in jail. It's insane, man. These the feds, gang. If he ain't working, then shit, I don't know, man. I'm too great, bro. If he ain't working, then Barack Obama wasn't president.
The same niggas who killed King Von, Trap was sitting right there laughing with him and smiling with him and kicking it with him. Just like how Von was laughing with Quando Rondo, smiling. Quando Rondo even said, fuck 63rd, nigga. Same niggas that got him up out of here. And we know that manager, the cop. We know it. He will never admit it. He can't admit it. He can't. If Trap ever get on here and say, yeah, when they said Officer Francois has been shot, that was me. He can't do that.
Shit gonna always get bad, then look good, and then always bad. You hear me? Because there's different generations coming up. You feel me? So we don't know what's going on with the new generation, how they looking at shit. Like they want to be like the gang leaders. You feel me? I see it really right now getting bad shit. Because I wanted to be like my daddy and them. You feel me? They was drugs. They was doing whatever they was doing. And gang chief and all that, you feel me? I ain't never want to be no a teacher, no lawyer, no shit like that. I wasn't, that's all I knew. So you see it right there. We from the slums of Inglewood, you feel me?
Only a D-thing, nigga. They gave back a bowl, bro, you hear me?
D-Thing was one of the first person who was right there when me and Durk first started rapping. Like, D-Thing was there from the start.
Could you really, really save me? Could you really, really save me?